Greetings everyone, I'm back again. It's me, Xylanthian Royalty, and I just wanted to come on real quick to share something. It was just a real quick conversation I had with one of my best friends. I went to see her the other day and we were talking, just having, regular conversation, and she mentioned another friend of hers who I, have been around and who I do know. We've been to many events together. She brought up this other friend, and she was telling me how this other friend now is in a relationship with the guy, and she went on to describe things that are currently going on in this friend's relationship, things that she actually went through, my best friend went through. And she was mentioning how she's in a relationship with this guy now, and they kind of got into a relationship, well, started living together out of, financial difficulties. I'm pretty sure they liked each other, and then with finances and being able to help each other out, they jumped into living together. So what's going on now, which is something that my best friend actually went through, is kind of currently still in, is sometimes when we get with people, and this could go for the male or the woman, vice versa situations, it's never just one-sided. When you get with someone sometimes and they know that you need them, whether it's financially or whether it's for emotional support or just any way at all, needing someone, a lot of times they can play on that. They can play on that need, and they can play on your emotions and treat you however they see fit, just based on the fact that they know that you need them. And this is something that my best friend went through, and something that her friend is going through now. When it comes time to pay the rent, or rent is getting paid, arguments just come up out of nowhere. People feeling like they can talk to you any kind of way and treat you any kind of way because you're under the same roof. And okay, well, if I leave, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of situations people find themselves in. And not just that, but the insecurity, these are things that they are both going through. The insecurity of the person that you're with, the arguments that arise when you're getting ready to leave the house or have somewhere to go or something to do. The arguments that arise, once you get to the place that you're trying to go, the constant calling and messaging and texting, to see what you're doing when you've already stated what you were doing and where you were going. That's another thing. And the calling and cussing you out, and put the phone on FaceTime so I can see if it's any is around. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it's any pictures around. That's something that a lot of people are going through. And a lot of people put up with it because they feel like they have no other options. Because they feel like they need that other person. And guess what? That feeling of needing that other person is what gives them their permission to treat you that way. So I was talking to my best friend, and she's telling me about the situation going on with her friend, and saying how she doesn't like it. How it really hurts her to see her friend going through something that she herself has went through and kind of still going through in many ways. And I said to my best friend, I said, so you see how it looks? It was a simple question. So you see how it looks? And she said, yeah. And I don't even know what to say. And I said to my friend, I said to her, sometimes you can't give people advice. Sometimes you cannot give people advice. Nothing that you say is gonna sink in. Nothing that you say is gonna really have an impact when people are so caught up and in the midst of going through what they're going through. But I did tell her after that sometimes you just got to lead by example. And you know what she said? You know what? That was a whole message right there. And it was. Sometimes we try to give people advice and not knowing that we look stupid. We sound crazy and we look stupid. You know why? Because a lot of times, sometimes, and I won't say a lot of times, sometimes we give people advice and not take the advice that we're giving. We can be going through the same situations as people, and from the outside looking in, we know all the answers. We know all the answers, and we know exactly what they need to do, and we can even advise them on what to do. But in the inside, we can't see that we in the same boat. How can somebody take your advice when you're not taking your advice? It doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is to lead by example. Show someone the way by going that way yourself. I'm almost positive that if my best friend was to take her own advice and say, you know what, girl, look in the mirror and tell herself, you know what, girl, I don't deserve this. You don't deserve this, girl. Look, you are an amazing mother. You are an amazing friend. You are an amazing person in general, and you don't deserve this. You are always covered and protected. You are always covered and protected and provided for. Provision is never an issue. Look at yourself and tell yourself that in the mirror. And as you look at yourself and tell yourself that in the mirror, you will begin to reprogram your mind into believing that and to knowing that. You don't have to put up with someone's foolishness because you feel like you need them. You don't have to put up with someone's foolishness because you feel like you can't make it without them. That's the trick. And what you do is you look at yourself as if you're looking at your best friend with all of the love and the admiration and the respect that you have for one of your closest friends. You look at yourself and you give yourself your own advice. And you don't just give yourself your own advice. You take it, you implement it, and you change your life. And once you start to lead by example, you can watch the wonderful transformation of the lives of the people that are close around you, the people you love the most. Be the light to show them the way. And watch how things turn around for not just yourself, but everyone around you that you love. So that's what this conversation was about today. Leading by example. Sometimes you can't give people advice. Sometimes they won't take the advice because they see you in the same situation. But what you can do is show them the way. So I just want to encourage all of you today. If there's something going on in your life, or if a friend or a loved one is dealing with something in their life, and you see that, you know what, there's a little bit of a parallel of this type of situation in my life where I can be a light and I can be a guide for that person I love, do it. Sometimes they're not strong enough to do it. Sometimes they've watched you or others in the same situation and they figure, you know what, they still in it and it's working. It may not be the best, but they still doing it. You know what I'm saying? They're watching you. People are watching you, especially the people closest to you, especially the people that you love. They're watching you. So if you want to be a great friend, lead by example. And that's all I got. That's all I got. I'll see you on the next conversation. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what's the next thing you want to have a conversation about. And if you haven't done so already, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what's going on. I want to have a conversation. Later.